Good evening, Raider Nation. Let's get it.
Inside Allegiant Stadium for the first time this year. Max Crosby! Touchdown Raiders! Traffic is picked off by Robert Spillane. Josh Jones! Amazing. Let's go, Black Woman! To the back, and he's caught! Man for the touchdown! And drilled from behind! Ball's out! Big man running!
This is a great opportunity for us to come home in front of our family, fans, Raider Nation, the Black Hole.
Raiders! Goddamn right.
What is up, Raider Nation? Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Raiders Unfiltered. I'm your boy, Jay Raider, and tonight we are talking next possible targets for the Las Vegas Raiders. As we all know, a couple things fell through over the weekend, so that's going to change things up for our front office to see who they go ahead and acquire as far as quarterback and wide receiver and other positions out there. But before we go ahead and start getting into it, let me get some particulars out of the way. If you guys are new to the show, appreciate you guys tapping in. Make sure you guys go ahead and check in and hit that subscribe button. Help to support the shows. Help to keep the lights on. Appreciate everybody tapping in for all my Raider dies, all my bets. Make sure you guys click those thumbs. Help me with the algorithm. Help me spread the word of the Raider Nation out to the YouTube universe. So I appreciate everybody tapping in. And of course, I can't forget everybody who's in the chat tonight. Got to do a quick roll call. Again, I appreciate everybody joining me on this Monday night. Salute to Armando. Appreciate you tapping in, my guy. Sacktown Raider Mike. What's good, brother? Thanks for tapping in. My guy, Ja. Appreciate you tapping in. Let's see. 831 Raider. Salute. NorCal in the building. Let's see. My guy, LV Raider 10. Salute, brother. Tyler A. Welcome, brother. Thanks for tapping in. And let's see who else is in here. I think if I forget, oh my God, EC, appreciate you tapping in. Welcome, guys. But yeah, it's been a little bit of turn events over the last few days. I think the big news coming out was obviously Matthew Stafford staying in LA. Me and Leo did a show on Thursday, and the only reason why we projected that show and decided to do it is because the whole ramping up of Matthew Stafford just really taking steam. So we decided to go ahead and do that. And then the next thing you know, Matthew Stafford decides to go ahead and stay in LA, which, as usual, looks like the Raiders getting used as leverage. But that's over and done with. So the question now again presents itself: who are we gonna go ahead and go after in this free agency, right? Or in this draft? So which free agent quarterbacks do the Raiders pursue? Obviously, um, we got Justin Fields out there. That's one of the names. Sam Darnold still in that mix. Um, you got Russell Wilson also to be considered. Aaron Rodgers is still kind of up in the air as well. But if you guys have been with me over the weekend, I've said it a couple times before. I feel that Justin Fields is probably going to be the best fit for this system under Chip Kelly, trying to run a variation of that RPO type offense. So being being an RPO, who better else than a more mobile type quarterback than Justin Fields? You can even go ahead and throw in Russell Wilson in that mix. Obviously, he's not my number one on that, but you can also go ahead and consider him. I don't think Aaron Rodgers fits into that too well. Definitely not ALC. And I'm gonna try not to use that word too much because apparently it's a little bit of a trigger word. So, but he doesn't really fit into that new scheme that we're trying to go ahead and put together. So, um, that's currently the consensus out there that most likely the Raiders are going to be interested in Justin Fields. Sam Darnold's still in the mix. He could be possibly a guy that we go ahead and acquire now. I've said this a few times before. If we decide to go ahead and go for Sam Darnold, this is going to be an investment. This is going to be a commitment where we're going to be going into anywhere from a 3 to 5 year contract, especially if we're going to pay this man anywhere up to $40 million per year. This is not going to be a 1 year thing where we bring this guy in and we draft the quarterback, and then we set him out for the next, for the remainder of his contract, have him be a number two. If we pursue Sam Darnold, that's going to be the guy, and we're going to go ahead and put a lot of faith in him to go ahead and get us over the hump. A lot of people don't think that he can do it. I don't think he could personally do it. From what we've seen last year from him, failing to go ahead and capture the number one seed versus Detroit, and then that playoff game versus the Rams, where the Rams literally decimated the Vikings, and there really wasn't any type of offense put together from the Vikings, where that really wasn't the case throughout the season. So those two pivotal games, you can see it as an indication that maybe he has a little bit of issue performing when really in those big game scenarios. And that's something that you can't just ignore. You definitely got to go ahead and keep that in consideration. Now, I wanted to go ahead and put up a poll. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube studio. It's tripping. I'm gonna try to go ahead and try to get this back up because I want to go ahead and put some polls up for you guys as I always do. And I apologize. This happened to me before the other day with Jeff's show, and it just says that it's something went wrong or something like that. So give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull this up here and see if I can go ahead and get it working again. But again, you guys let me know where you guys think currently on the free agents that are out there. We are going to go ahead and talk about the combine, about this past weekend with the quarterbacks that threw. Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders, obviously in that mix as well. They sat out. They decided not to go ahead and throw. Now, you can take that as a good thing, bad thing. It doesn't matter. There's different ways to go ahead and look at it. Obviously, they don't really need to go ahead and go out there per se. Their stock is pretty high. normally these combines are set up for players that want to go ahead and increase their stock. Now there's a caveat to those because these combines are not designed to be player friendly, if that makes sense. They're trying to seek out what flaws do these guys have, so that way it can be analyzed by the scouts, because the scouts are the ones that are going to be passing this information and this film over to the GMs who are making decisions on that draft day, or they're making decisions a few weeks out before. And so it could either benefit you or it could be a detriment to you. So there's some guys who decided to go ahead and sit out, but as far we did see some gems. We saw Jackson Dart perform. He really shined. I really liked how he threw. There's a disappointment, obviously. I think probably the biggest disappointment of this combine was Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel was god awful. I know I was pitching Dylan Gabriel before, but seeing him how he performed in this combine kind of drew me back a little bit. I'm gonna have to go ahead and kind of take a second look at this guy. But obviously, these are different. This is different scenarios. You can only get so much from this as well. Another name that I'm gonna go ahead and put out there too that had a pretty good combine was Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord was another one that had a pretty good combine. So, um, you know, one thing for sure is that Jackson Dart's stock is rising. That is for sure. Now, there we've said it before. When I mean we, my guy LB Raider 10, who's in the chat, Jeff, not so much Leo, but we said that his stock is rising. We might see this guy entering into the first round, and it might still be that case. Now, there's also other rumors starting to sprout that he could possibly be even going to the top 10, top 5, maybe. I don't really see that happening. I don't see him breaking anything past 15 into top 10 territory. I think where he's probably going to lie is around the 20s, all the way up until 32, right? So from 20 to 32, that's pretty much where he's going to be at. But we saw this because I mean, there's still some flaws. All these guys have some flaws in one way, shape, or form. But out of this group, even Jalen Merrill, which he looked halfway decent, still wasn't really totally impressed. But the guy can throw with the mean zip, but how does that translate over to accuracy? Because that's super important. So, out of this bunch, the consensus is that Jackson Dart is definitely a guy who really outshined everybody in this combine for the quarterbacks. Obviously, there was more guys, but I got my studio up and running, so I can go ahead and put up some polls really quick. So I'm glad I got that going, and I'll put that up in just a second. Let me go ahead and get some questions from you guys too. Again, I appreciate everybody tapping in on this Monday night on this Raiders Unfiltered for sure. My guy EC says at this point, I think there will be a bidding war for Fields. I see a lot of other teams fans saying that Fields makes the most sense for them as a bridge. Whether front offices feel that way, I don't know. I agree, bro. It's hard to gauge. It's hard to really gauge where their heads at. Now, this is the thing. I don't know if you guys kind of picked up on it. These guys are playing things kind of close to the vest, so they're not saying too much, and they're not really putting too much shit out there, and I think that's a good thing. I think what we're hearing and all the stuff that we're gathering is obviously from the insiders that are pushing information out there, and we're the ones that are kind of biting at the apple and running with it, right? And because we can only see so much unless we're actually in the building. But from their part, they really haven't said too much on who they're wanting particularly to see. I know that as far as vets, they haven't really said anything. As far as like draft picks, the thing about they have an interest in Milrow did come out the other day. Uh, Now it says an interest or whatever adjective they used to describe that, but it wasn't um like these guys are looking at him hard. They're just curious about him, about his athleticism, of what he can do. Again, this all depends on whatever plan they have cooking up in the front office with Spytek, with Carroll, which we know is going to be potentially something big. We just missed out on Matthew Stafford, which is, you can see it as a good thing, bad thing, because there were what it looks like. And again, this is just it's not 100%. Don't know if it's actually true or not. The rumor is that we offered about a 2-year contract for between anywhere from 90 to 100 mil, and then we're going to go ahead and give the Rams a second round pick for Stafford. Obviously, Stafford went back. Rams had the ability to go ahead and match or exceed, and which they did. And I mean, that's fine, because at the end of the day, we can't put a whole lot into this guy. I mean, 50 mil is a pretty steep price tag. They literally match him under what his market value or what he was looking at. But these things kind of happen. And the Rams wanted him desperately, that they're willing to go ahead and pay him 57 for the next 2 or 3 years, or whatever their contract was with whatever their restructure is with them. That's fine. There's other options, other fish in the sea. There's not a whole lot, but there is some. And that's literally what we're going to go ahead and talk about. Tyler says no veteran option is very exciting. Let's take a chance on a QB in the draft. Yeah, this quarterback free agency is not deep. It's very shallow. It's not the best, obviously. So there's very limited options on who you can go ahead and get. You can literally, it's like 4 guys that are four guys that can potentially go after, and 3 of them are for sure. One guy is literally, we're gonna know whether or not he's gonna decide to still continue on playing in the NFL or decide to go ahead and retire. And that's literally where we're at. So, Josh says, Jay, what's your thoughts on Brian Daboll? No, Rhodes Sanders is acting like a child after combine meetings. He following to us. So I'm glad you brought that up. Now, I don't know what Daboll wrote. This is the first time you're telling me that I've seen it. But I mean, the thing with Sanders, he's going to come with that swag. He's going to come with the ego, with the confidence. That's just who he is. That is a family. That is a Sanders family through and through, right? It's kind of as suspected as advertised. You get what you get. Now, the consensus is that Shedeur is not going to be the number 1 overall pick. There is a gap between Cam and him, and most likely Cam is not. I don't even think Cam is going to be the number 1 overall, but he's going to be the number 1 QB. So it looks like his stock is falling. For sure, Cam is not getting out of the top 10. He's going to be snatched up at some point, either by us or by another team, which the other team might be the Jets, right? Because if the fact is that they're going to be parting ways with Aaron Rodgers, and that's really going to happen, they're going to need a quarterback. That's just plain and simple. So if we don't pick them, and there's been mocks from Kuiper and other dudes. I just saw one earlier from this guy from the NFL.com, Lance something other, who literally put Sanders at 29 and had the Browns go ahead and trade back up to the first to try and snatch them up at 29. Right? I don't know where the logic is, where we didn't grab them. Right? That's not, for me. That's not a realistic thing, nor in the relationship with Brady, Davis, and Sanders. No way that happens, right? But this is what these guys are projecting, right? So, but most likely the consensus is that Shador will not be at. He will not go right away. He will not be QB1. He's definitely a QB2. He's most likely going to fall to us at number 6. So if he's there at 6, watch the Raiders pick him up. I'm telling you guys now, if he's there at 6, watch me pick him up. Now, I know there was something that was said earlier. I forgot. I think it was on Leo's show, or somebody had said something that our GM and the Titans GM had dinner. Now, don't know what the context of that dinner would have been, right? If there had been some type of trade talk or not. I mean, if you go for number 1, I would think you would go for Cam Ward. I don't know if you literally would make that decision to go up and get Shador when you know now that his stock is on the decline, that he's most likely not going to go number 1 overall. But obviously, with these things, you never know. That nothing is 100% sure. So we'll see what happens. But Laura Ritchie says, I'd like to get Fields as a bridge if he can prove his worth. Draft Sanders or Dart. Facts, brother, for sure. GeoMax says Darnold was sacked 48 times. That's a concern. Yeah, and that's one of the things that's on there that concerns me. Aside from those 2 performances, man. But yeah, I mean that's one thing you got to look at it for sure. Tyler says I think Dart would be our best option. I'm good at taking him at 6. I honestly, bro, 6 is overreaching, and I don't think these guys are going to do that. Spytek has been openly saying that he's not going to go ahead and overreach for guys. So the whole thing of if we go and trade up with Tennessee to get Shador, for me, it doesn't equate. Ward would be the better option if that's really their intention, right? But that's if it's decided even to pull that trigger. Who knows? I'm going to go ahead and put this poll up really quick. And then I'll go back to some more stuff. And again, I appreciate everybody tapping in. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys click those thumbs for sure. Help me support the show. I appreciate everybody tapping in this evening for sure. And let me go ahead and add these 2. Now I want to get everybody's feel for this. Now, obviously, there's more guys in free agency, but in my opinion, I feel these 4 are going to be and especially what's out in the news right now. These are the guys who are going to be really kind of looked at. Another player that was out there, the other Wilson, Zach Wilson, was also mentioned. Now, we don't know if that's another thing. It's a rumor. We don't know if that's a real viable option for us to go ahead and try to pursue Zach Wilson in this free agency. He is a free agent this year, so it'll be interesting to see. But I don't. Zach Wilson to the Raiders. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe because you got Chip there. It could. I don't know about Chip being an actual quarterback whisperer. He's not really known for that. It's really, even though we're going to be building a system around this quarterback, where we decide to go ahead and pursue or start, if it's AOC, right, it could still potentially be that. I doubt it, but if it turns out to be the case, they're going to build a system around that guy. So we'll see. Romano says, I would like to get Justin Fields to see if Chip Kelly can make him a good quarterback. So that's the thing. He was 4-2 with the Steelers. You guys know, we all watched it. Fucking give us a shellacking last year here in Vegas. So put up 32 on us. And our defense was in uh, above par, but still 32 points against us is still quite a bit. But he did have a 4-2 record before he got sat, and you know, I think the whole thing about getting sat is because, you know, they whatever deal they had to work out with Chicago to acquire him. I think they just didn't want to go ahead and give up that high draft pick is what the word is. So that could have really been the reason behind it. But I mean, they're on good track with Fields. So we'll see. Like my guy Sagtown, appreciate your brother. Yep, 17 in here. There's actually almost 30 people in the building. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Make sure again you guys hit that like and subscribe button for sure. Trying to get to that 400 mark. We are about 40 subscribers from there. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe, turn on notifications. Sometimes as news drops, I go on. Don't want to be left out in the dark. Or I'll go ahead and put out a short and do a quick video to talk about what just broke. So make sure you guys definitely go ahead and turn on the notifications. Let's see. Mata says drafting always the most here is 54, 52 more days. I can't wait to see who we get in draft facts. And me and Jeff are going to go ahead and do a live on that day. It's a Thursday. I don't know what time he's going to go ahead and start. He might start a little bit earlier than me. I might have to jump on just because I got work. So, but we'll see kind of what happens on that day, or once we get closer towards that time, we're really going to go ahead and hammer it down. And we'll go ahead and put like show times and stuff like that. But we will be doing a live for that show on for the NFL draft and Chris Protect the Shield, which I had on Saturday. If you guys haven't seen it, make sure you guys click that description after the show. Watch that. It was a really, really good show. And Leah are going to be heading to Wisconsin. They're going to be going to Green Bay for that draft. I don't know if Turf is going. And maybe 805 is going. Not sure if 805 you're watching. Let me know if you're going to go or not. But for sure. But they're gonna go, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get these guys. We can get these guys doing a live reaction when 6 comes around, and you know, we pick or whenever we pick. If it's sooner, then fuck it sooner. But if it's later, you know, it's when we're at 6, cool, whatever. We're just trying to get that reaction, and we'll try to kind of be on some way, shape, or form. So we'll see what happens for sure. Salute to my guy, Mobile Raider. Appreciate you, brother. For tapping in. Logan, hey man, what's up, brother? Let's see. Go down here and take a few more questions. Let's see. Justin, I say Brown's going with Cam Ward and Giants going with Jackson Dart. Man, I mean, I don't know. I you know, this is the thing. I feel that the Browns are going to try to figure out a way to go ahead and replace Myles Garrett, right? Now there's been some back and forth from what I've heard that Browns are we're not really going to trade Myles Garrett even though he wants it out. They don't really give a fuck about that. They're like, hey, we're going to keep him. You're under contract. If you sit, we just sign you or whatever the fuck we're going to do. You know, they're kind of on that mode currently. Now, obviously, if they get an offer for Garrett, if an offer comes around, I'm pretty sure they're going to pick up that phone and entertain that offer. So, if that's the case and Myles Garrett goes before the draft, they might want to go ahead and fill in that number 2 spot with Abdul Carter, even though he has that injury. So if you guys didn't know, Abdul did not participate in the combine, and it was revealed that he has, I think, like a stress fracture or hairline fracture in his ankle that is going to require some surgery. So now that changes things. Teams are going to look at it a little bit differently. And from my perspective, that gives me a little bit of Tyree vibes. But obviously, he's not Tyree. Different type of player, right? But still, you can't help not to feel that type of way when it comes to like injuries, and especially if we have the second overall pick, you gotta really think about that. So, who knows? But I feel that they're still gonna go defensive on that second pick. Let's see. Right here. All right. Josh says, I was watching a Bills video that Brian Dable told media Jackson Dart reminds him of Josh Allen. I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson goes at 3. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think he breaks top 15. I think he's going to be under that. I think that's really where he's going to stay. It's literally Giants, us, and maybe you can put the Jets on that same plane. I mean, you still got to think about this. The Browns still have Deshaun Watson. Now he's currently rehabbing. He's trying to get back. There's still a lot of time from now to the beginning of the season for him to be able to go ahead and come back to rehab and to come back, right? But obviously, if I'm the Browns, I still got to address that, right? Doesn't necessarily mean you got to waste your number 2 pick on getting a quarterback. If I'm the Browns, I'm able to go ahead and wait to the late rounds to go ahead and get a quarterback that can go ahead and sit behind Deshaun. If that's the case, there's also been other rumors about them going after other free agency or other free agent quarterbacks. I can't talk tonight. Other free agent quarterbacks that are currently out there. I think Russell Wilson was one of them too. So it's interesting to see on who they kind of what they do. I don't think they're going to go for quarterback at 2. So if that's the case, Giants are where that's expected, and they're probably going to go after Ward at 3, and that will leave us with Shador at 6. Most likely, unless one of these other teams, 4, 5, and 5, decide to go ahead and focus, which is basically the Patriots and the Jags. Jags have Lawrence. They're good. Pats have Drake May and Milton, right? So I don't see that. I don't see that play happening, but could be wrong. Let me see. Let me kind of go into a few other things here. But yes, like I said, Jackson Dart's stock is rising. That is for sure. And then again, Cal McCord had a pretty good combine too. He could be a possible option in those later rounds. We're talking about 3 and 4. He probably pushes up to maybe 3, maybe latter half of the 3, so he can potentially be there if that's somebody that we decide to go ahead and pursue as well. But obviously, with the combine, there was other guys that kind of stood out as well, because that's not the only position that we're needing to go ahead and plug up and help with. Obviously, you had the wide receiver core that went out. Probably one of the names to definitely go ahead and look out for is Jaden Higgins. I've talked about this guy before. This guy is definitely somebody that we need to go ahead and look after. Obviously, this guy's 6'4", 215. I think he ran a 4.3 on his combine. Let me try to go back and see if I can get that info. But he ran about 4.3, high 4.3 In the combine, he's quick as shit, for sure. Here, actually, there you go. In this combine profile. Where do you run it? Well, they have this combine at 4.47. So I don't know if at one point he ran 4.3, but they have him down to 4.47. Vertical jump was 39 inches. 39 inches. Broad jump 10 feet 8 inches. So, but he had a pretty good combine for sure. Let me go into the right other. There was a couple other guys that also stood out. Some of the guys didn't run too well on the 40. It was a little bit disappointing, but Matthew Golden was another one as well. He had a really good combine. This guy ran a 4.2 on his combine, a crazy 5'11", 190. This guy's projected to go probably like mid to later first round. So I don't know if this is a guy who potentially we can get. Lucky, maybe he's if we're lucky, he's probably maybe there on the second round. It depends who we get in the first, obviously. So if we get Shador, this guy might be an option. Uh, uh, Emeka is another guy that I talked about. I don't think I didn't see him in the combine, so I don't think he participated. But that is a name definitely that we gotta look out for. Actually, let me see if he did. Yeah, I don't think he did. I don't think he participated because I just got his 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 profile. There's no real stats behind that. Um, the other guy, Trey Harris, out of Ole Miss, another guy that potentially look out for as well. So, catching wise, you really did do pretty good catching wise. So, yeah, as far as the others, right? Um, big thing, Travis Hunter didn't participate as expected. I didn't really think that he was going to go ahead and do all too much as well. But him and I believe Will Johnson also didn't participate. Uh, I don't think I'm probably gonna butcher his name here. Hold on. The guy that I really like, that my guy Navman for sure has been preaching alongside with me, has been Emmanuel Wari out of South Carolina. Round Same thing, round like a 4.3. Guys like 6'4", 6'5", 225. Big strong guy. Definitely a guy that we can definitely get probably in that third or fourth round to go ahead and definitely look out for. One thing is that most likely Nate Hobbs will not return. I was on Jeff's show yesterday. I think it was Jaw. Maybe I'm mistaken, but somebody pointed out that Nate Hobbs followed the Raiders, right? So if that's the case, which I've said it before, I didn't expect to see Nate Hobbs particularly back with all those injuries, and depending what he's going to want price tag wise, it might not make sense for the Raiders to go ahead and bring him back, and that might be the case. So if he's already been following the Raiders, he probably knows something that we don't know, that his future might not be with the Raiders. So if that's the case, getting a guy like Emmanuel Wari out of South Carolina could be a potential upgrade for us. Obviously, there's the other guys that I've talked about. Kobe Bryant was another one. Um, and See if I can find stats. Okay, so I got the stats for Kobe Bryant. He ran a 4.5 on his 40-yard dash, and then he did the shuttle. He looked pretty good during the shuttle. Obviously, that's not on here because I can only see a few limited stats on here. But 4.3. So I mean, sorry, yeah, 4.5 that he ran on his 40. So, but we all see what Kobe can do. He's great in coverage. So that would be a good potential pickup as well. The linebackers, Odalejo was the guy that really stood out for me. I really like that guy more and more. Running back wise, it was just on another level. Marnie Hampton, obviously, he's a stud. Um, Henderson, Judkins, great performances. So this class is really deep. It hasn't really disappointed. Um, Let me see who else. I think it was Jaden Jaden Smith. I think out of USC is another guy that looked pretty good out there as well. Or Jalen, I think it's Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith. He looked pretty good out there as well. Um, he's, he's out of USC, but he's definitely another one that to definitely go ahead and look out for as well. But let me go back to the chat really quick, and we'll keep chopping up more about the combine for sure. Let me see. My guy Lord says, I'd like to get Fields as a bridge, see if he can prove his worth. Sanders, okay, I think we went over that one. Okay. All right, here we go. EC says, if Brady is leading the charge, look at QBs. I have a hard time believing he has much faith in any available free agents, which is why they went in on Stafford. I think that is definitely a good thought right there. I mean, like we said, this is kind of a weak free agency. There's not a lot of depth in it. So, I mean, being able to go ahead and try possibly acquire a guy like Matthew Stafford, like we said on Thursday, it gives you kind of that almost instant contender mode. So long as you literally need to provide a couple more weapons. Obviously, you already have Brock, but you need a true wide receiver one. You need to go ahead and get a solid running back, which you'll go ahead and definitely get out of this draft. Plus, if Abdullah's coming back, you have your veteran there, and a couple linemen, and then you're off to the races. Um, you're in that potential contention. You know, you might be able to go ahead and get anywhere from 8 to possibly 10 wins. Where with anybody else, we're looking at anywhere from like 6 to 7 wins, 8 if you're lucky. But it's just that's the ability of Matthew Stafford. But again, that didn't work out, and it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of a weak class. But this is the thing. I know everybody's saying on Brady, and that's fine because I don't really care for Brady too much. But he's out there, he's getting his looks. I think whether or not we're being used for leverage, I know we are, but you never know. I mean, you gotta still try to attempt to go ahead and make something happen, which I feel that he is, and that's all you can ask for these guys. You want them to go ahead and put out a winning product for us at the beginning of the season, so that way we can potentially try to build something off of, right? We want to go ahead and be contenders. We want to go ahead and be able to go ahead and win this or be competitive in our own division. Obviously, being 0-6 suck fucking ass. That's something I definitely don't want to relive. Where it's to the point where we're getting shedded on. You got this fucking guy in the chat right now doing the thing. Why? Because we were 0-6, and that's the thing. We need to go ahead and be able to be competitive in the division. We need to go ahead and try to get the best players as possible that money can buy. We have over 92 million in cap space. That's going to jump up over 200. The cap's being raised anywhere from 10 to I believe 12 million this year because it was announced. So we're going to even get more money now. So let's go out and go ahead and get a quarterback. Let's go ahead and get wide receivers. Let's go ahead and get defensive guys, linemen. I mean, even the lineman free agency markets is shallow as well. So there's only certain things you can do in free agency, but if you have the money to spend, why not? Right? That's my take on it. So yeah, let me kind of move into another one. Greg says, what do you like in number 6 after this combine? I mean, what I was saying earlier, Greg, is that looks like Shador will probably fall to us at number 6. I don't think this guy goes before that. That is kind of the consensus. What I've been reading, what I've been seeing is that, and especially all these I already saw like 2 mock drafts where they have him out of the top 5. Right. This last one I saw with NFL.com, this is ridiculous. But they put him out of the top 10, top 5 for sure. So I feel that he's going to go ahead and fall to us at 6. If he's at 6, these guys are going to go ahead and grab him. I think that's just kind of what it boils down to. If he's not there, so let me tell you this: so if he's not there, let's say Cam and Shador are not there, I'm not gonna go ahead and overreach for Dart, even though he had a pretty good combine, really good combine. I would still go ahead and get a guy like Mason Graham, Will Johnson probably be another guy on that list too. So, or Will Campbell. They're still within that space of being in that top 10 if no quarterback is available at that point. So that's my take on that. I still wouldn't overreach for Dart. I know there might be another team that does, and it's probably going to be the Jets. And if they do, fuck it, that's on them. If they want to go ahead and spend their 7th pick on Dart, cool, go ahead. Make that gamble. Whether it's going to pan out or not, that's going to be the question. He does need work. There's a lot of things that he needs to go ahead and fix. So I don't know if that's a situation where you want to go ahead and put a guy like Dart to go ahead and start off right off the bat. And the Jets are not known to really nurture and foster their quarterbacks per se. So we'll see what's up. Appreciate you, Rochitas, for sure, brother. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you guys on this Monday night. And again, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. Click those thumbs. Help me with the algorithm. Trying to get to 400 subscribers. We're at about 360 or so. Haven't checked, but if you're new to the show, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. That way I can go ahead and keep bringing you more great content to you guys. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Let's see. Let me kind of go up. Salute, Mark. Appreciate you tapping in, brother. Fritz says, they all suck. I hate them off of the Raiders. Yeah, the class is not the quarterback class. Literally, it's 3 guys, right? One person, I'm gonna tell you guys, because I had said Will Howard was somebody that we could also potentially go after. Seeing that combine kind of changed my mind a little bit. I don't know if you do pursue a guy like Will Howard again, that would make more sense if you really wanted to go ahead and get a guy like Sam Darnold, where you're paying him. You're getting him on a long-term contract between 3 to 5 years. It's realistically maybe anywhere from 3 to 4. But if you're doing that, that's where it would make sense to possibly get a guy like Will Howard. If Dart goes quickly if Dart goes late in the first, that's to say, right? Because I think that's what's going to happen. Highest, honestly, it'll probably be around mid first, like in the teens. I don't see him really breaking that top 15, but shit could happen. Definitely not top 10. But let's say he does go, right? you could get Howard. You could get a Kyle McCord. I feel like Kyle McCord threw way better than Will Howard. Um, but if that's your consistency, still these guys are going to need some time to develop, and this will be a situation where they go ahead and sit behind like a Sam Darnold or a Justin Fields if they get Justin Fields looking at a 2-year type of deal. So we'll see what's that. How about Henry Hooker? I don't think Henry Hooker is is an option. Let me just tell you this, and I think my guy Ron said it the best. It was surprising where the Lions last year during the playoffs decided to go ahead and pull Teddy Bridgewater out of retirement while he was coaching high school football to go ahead and put him into a game over Hendon Hooker. So I think that kind of tells the story right there. So I don't know. Let's see. Mark says, what's the thoughts on possibility trading for Metcalf? Um, that could still be a possibility. I think the Metcalf deal, if there's going to be a deal to make, will be done until we figure out the quarterback situation. That's my thought process. If they get like a Fields or somebody in that type of caliber, or if let's say they go ahead and get Shador, Metcalf might be more of a strong possibility for that. So obviously we'll see. We just saw the other day where Niners sent Debo to the Commanders, right, for a fifth. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what would Seattle want for Metcalf, right? I don't. You definitely don't. You definitely don't go ahead and give him a first round pick. I don't think he's worth that. The valuation for these players are way less than what we normally think. So I think probably he's a third, maybe a fourth. We can give that for next year. So, but you could. I don't know if that gets done right away. It doesn't necessarily have to get done right away. This is the thing you can kind of sit on for quite a while, even after free agency is over, because this is a trade. So see what happens. Greg says, what about getting Jalen Milroe in the draft? He's another QB who can drop to us. I know the Raiders are curious about him. I still feel from the mocks that I've done too, I think he's going to be their second, maybe even third round, possibly. That'll be tough, but second round is really where he's going to be at. I don't see him going up to the first. So it could still be a possibility. Again, if they decide to go ahead and go after a vet QB, that would probably be the case. Let me see. Let me kind of go back into this poll that I did earlier. So I asked everybody earlier, who do you want the Raiders to pursue in free agency? Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold, or Russell Wilson? Currently, 60% has said Justin Fields, 14% Aaron Rodgers. It's kind of fluctuating right now, but 10% Sam Darnold and 19% Russell Wilson. 21 votes currently casted. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that pull up. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the next poll. I'm gonna ask you guys the next one, so be prepared. Right. Great input so far. I like that. So let's see. Lord says, Jay, the other big name or running backs, are there, other than the big name running backs, are there any late or mid round running backs you like? Yeah, so Giddens has still been one of the guys on my list. Sampson is also another guy on my list. I think Sampson had a pretty good combine. I have to kind of go back to his stats. See, this is the thing on Saturday, and I missed part of that combine. I saw the quarterback. I was in time to see the quarterback play because I did the show with Chris Protect the Shield, so we had the Good Morning Raiders on. That was the same time the combine was going on, so we were doing that show. So I really couldn't see what the running backs did. I had to kind of go back to like the highlights and stuff like that. but just kind of the things that I've seen so far, like Dylan Sampson was one of them that had a pretty good combine. So definitely a guy on my list. He probably would go into maybe the third, fourth round. They've been there on certain mocks. So this class is so deep. Really, your meat and potatoes are from 2 and 5. You can get good quality running backs. Anything past, like once you go into 6 and 7, that definitely starts diminishing. Quality starts diminishing. So I would not get anybody in the 6th or 7th round, unless they happen to fall there. That'll be by a stroke of miracle or something like that. But those are some of the guys that I like. So let's see what's up. Salute, Jonathan. Appreciate you tapping in, brother. Salute. Jeff, I'm not even gonna entertain your comment, bro. I love you though, man. I love you, brother. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Pat Pump said, appreciate you tapping in. And all seriousness, you guys came up in hiring Pete Carroll. His resume speaks for itself, minus the Super Bowl mistake. I don't really think you put that mistake on Pete. That was the offensive coordinator. Was it Everett? Um, so he's the one really who kind of called that play. So either way, yeah, man, it's this is the best. This is the best coach that we can go ahead and put in for a scenario like this. If you guys really think it through and through, you're having a guy who has the experience, who knows how to put the team together, but also is on that win now mode, but also can build you a team together at the same time, which is a difficult thing to do in itself, because you're trying to put a team together that's competitive now, right? That's a contender, but you're also trying to stock it up with draft picks and stock it up with guys that could potentially work out in the future. Talking about 2 or 3 years down the line, maybe 4 years down the line as well. Um, so it's a very I cannot talk today. Slippery slope that you have to go ahead and kind of contend with, right? And so far, they're doing a great job. But it's still early. We're about to go into free agency literally next week. Today is the 3rd. It starts in about almost 10 days. Next Wednesday is when free agency starts. So this is why I say turn on your notifications, because I'm going to be going live. I might be going live with some guys. So make sure you guys are tapping in, because as news happens, we're going to be going on. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be dissecting the news that happened during free agency for sure. So I can't let either. John says, I would like to have Justin Fields. We'll have a double threat, but the accuracy on field worries me. Can't read defense, but hopefully Chip can fix that. Facts. And that's the thing. You also got to think about this. Like, he's had a shitty coach over in Chicago, right? He had Getsy, and we saw how that turned out. This year he was in this past year he was in Pittsburgh. We saw an improvement. There's progression with Justin Fields. We have a really good offensive coordinator who just won the national championship that is over to our team, that is looking to go ahead and pick up or looking to go ahead and work with a young, talented quarterback, whether in free agency or the draft, most likely the draft. That's why I say this is going to be a good fit for Justin Fields, to have somebody not only from his alma mater, but somebody who knows how to work with young quarterbacks, right? Who better else than Chip Kelly? Now, I don't know if this guy's a fucking quarterback whisperer yet, but maybe that'll turn out to be the case. Who knows? But I hope it does, because I think that if the stars align and we keep on the same path, on the same trajectory of doing things correctly, I think Fields will work out really, really well. So, what do I think about Jalen Monroe? He had a decent combine. Same thing. There's things I feel that he has to clean up. Accuracy is not all there. He throws the ball hard. Yes, that's for sure. But I did see a little bit of some balls being overthrown, but just, you know, zipping it too hard and pushing these guys out of bounds. Those are some of the things that I saw when he was throwing. Um, I mean, he's a work in progress. He's a project. That's that's my thought process on him. And if we do decide to go ahead and get him, that's what exactly he's going to be, and that's going to be something where he can be paired up with a veteran quarterback, somebody who's been in the league for a while, where he has time to sit, develop, work with Chip, work with Olsen, and improve and get better, and learn control and timing and velocity, and it's kind of like almost like a pitcher, right? Just know when to throw really hard and know when to ease off of it, and it's just learning that control factor. So yeah, we'll see. Salute. Appreciate you, Justin, for tapping in. Yeah, man. Hey, we're gonna play you guys this year, so we'll see what happens. I'll definitely be looking at that game. One of my buddies is a Cowboy. I actually got a couple buddies who are Cowboys fans. It's funny, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna see if I can go to that game. If not in LA, but um, Cowboys. I went to the Raider Cowboy game in Thanksgiving in 21, I believe. Yeah, about 2021. That was pretty cool. Uh, that's man, we balled out on that one, but uh, I really like that game. Being able to go to Dallas and go into AT&T and be able to go ahead and literally, you know, take it to you guys was pretty awesome. But it was a good stadium. It was pretty cool. Let's see. Greg says Stafford is used to playing in a weak division. Um, it's a weaker division. Obviously, we have the most toughest division in the NFL. We're literally the best division in football, right? Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, and us, right? Um, so yes, it's a lesser division than us, but I mean, still, um, he's able to go ahead and produce a winning season and help get his team to the playoffs. So, that's why we're interested in him now. It just shit that didn't work out, and that's fine. We'll move on to the next one, and it is what it is. We just have to look at other guys, and that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about who could potentially be the next guy for the Raiders, who actually, hopefully, we actually reel in and land as our quarterback. Because I'm starting to get tired of all this. Hey, this guy is projected to be pursued or acquired by the Raiders, and then this guy the next week, and then this guy the next week. It's like literally every week we have a guy who's being projected as the next quarterback for the Raiders. I want to try and nail something down because it's starting to become to a point where it's a distraction. Obviously, we're in the off season; it's going to be talked about either way. But it's like we can never like move on to the next thing because this quarterback situation is always like looming over our head. It's always like here above you, and I would like to kind of eventually have at least one part of it figured out. So we'll see. Appreciate your mobile for tapping in. Thank you, brother. Thank you. You have a good one, man. Salute to my guy, Raider Ryan. Appreciate you tapping in. Let's see. Lauren Rosita says, I'm glad you mentioned Giddens. I like Rashard Smith as well, but I only knew a few guys. I'll look into types for sure, bro. He had a pretty good combine out of Tennessee. He's a stud, bro. So definitely, guys, definitely one of the guys you can definitely go ahead and look at. So for sure, there was a guy, and I'm gonna put his name out there, and I give the credit to my guy LB Reed 10, Nathan. Salute to you, brother. Elite Amador out of Stanford, another possible receiver. He's a wide receiver, 6'2", 210. Dude was breaking ankles. So Definitely a guy that we need to kind of go ahead and look out for as well. Hold on 1 second. Are you guys hearing me well? Is my audio coming choppy or anything like that? Let me know on the chat. I got a message that it's not good. So if it isn't, I'll tweak it up a little bit. So salute to my guy Gravy. Appreciate you tapping in, brother. What's good? What's good? What's good to my guy 805? Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you so much. Let's see. Greg says, "What about Trey Lance, which could be a sneaky pickup?" I like Trey Lance, bro. Look, I saw him. On preseason last year. He looked pretty good, man. He's on free agency, so now they haven't put him. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Anybody else? Let me know if audio sounds choppy or anything like that. But he looked pretty good to me. But Cowboys never used him. Cowboys never used. If the Raiders pull a fucking faster now, they mentioned. I think something was posted the other day. I think it was yesterday that the Raiders are not going to spend big on a quarterback in free agency, right? Doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to go out and pursue a quarterback. And let me look at the market value for Trey Lance because I'm glad you brought it up, bro. Now I know you guys probably won't agree with me. That's totally fine. We're just tipping our pinky toe in the water and see what this guy is market value. And so his market value is about $2 million for Trey Lance, right? And you can even put a little bit more into that if you decide to go ahead and snatch this kid up. You pay him four for 3. Comes in cheap. You can pay him 5. We're still winning. But you're taking a flyer on this dude because you don't know what he can actually do in season. So that's the thing. I don't know. My guy Leo, he said, "Cowboy choose Rush over Elijah." What I tell you? Oh man, yeah, I need you to add Mariota. I can only put 4, bro. Then nobody can't fit anymore in there, bro. But let me go. Just speaking of the poll, I forgot about it in a bit, but let me go back and check on it. All right, so we got a couple more votes. So again, I asked you guys earlier, who do you want the Raiders to go ahead and pursue in free agency? Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold, or Russell Wilson? 57% say Justin Fields, 17% for Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, with 9% Sam Darnold. That price tag for Sam Darnold is just way too fucking much for everybody, and I agree. I don't think he's a dude, but I mean he's still in the picture. It's like I don't know. One thing for sure, if I know maybe some people don't know because obviously they're Vikings are a different team. The only reason why I know is because I'm following this shit closely, right? Because I need to be in the know what's going on with the quarterback situation. But Vikings are not franchise tagging Sam Darnold because I said that could be a possibility, right? They are not doing that. So that means either they're willing to go ahead and untest free agency or they think they can get him cheaper than the franchise tag on a cheaper friendly deal, which is fine, right? That might be potentially the case. So, but that also opens him up for other teams to come in and also put a bid on him. Now, still, that the whole thing about us seeking out Sam Darnold is still out there, but knowing if that's really true, where we're not willing to spend more money on guys where like Sam Darnold or Matthew Stafford, right? We're having to spend 30, 40, $50 million per year on quarterbacks. That changes things a little bit. That's why I feel that Justin Fields is starting to look more of an option because he's not going to cost you that amount. if you even pay him on the higher end, you're looking to spend about $10 to $12 million per year, which is still way under 50, way under 40, way under 30, right? You're in that still good spot. You have him for a long period of time. So let's see what happens. But let's see. Leo says Rams being in a division where teams have been 3 Super Bowls since 2020 is a stretch. Let's see. $2 million is not bad. Gives you money to build. This is about Trey Lance. $2 million is not bad. Gives you money to build a bully defense and revamp an offense. Yeah, I mean, look, we're gonna have over $100 million. When all said and done, we're gonna have over $100 million in cap space. We're about 92 plus, right? Our cap is gonna increase. We're gonna get about anywhere from 10 to about 15 extra from the cap on the cap space, right? That's not including restructure. You can restructure Wilkins. You have Max's deal that comes up that if you're going to keep him, which is most likely going to be the case, you can go ahead and restructure it and give him guaranteed money and not give him that 28 that he currently has coming to him that is not guaranteed, right? You can give him 18 guaranteed or something along that line, right? So that could be restructured. Now you're saving that. Now you're saving more money, right? So if you restructure Wilkins, you're restructuring Max, you're gaining more. You're gaining anywhere from 15 to potentially almost $30 million. So you're gaining up to that 125, 130 mark in cap. That's a lot of money, you guys. I mean, you could do a lot of shit with it. You can acquire a lot of players with that in free agency. And then also think about this: free agency on certain positions, it's deep, and certain positions it's shallow. So there's not a lot of depth in it. So that's another thing you got to go ahead and keep in mind as well. So, but we have money coming to us, so I'm not really worried about the money part. It's just, but overspending like 50 million, where you're giving up almost half a cap, that is concerning. That's the thing. So, but anywhere between that 2 to 20 million mark, I think we'll be okay. We just got to use it smartly, though, for sure. Salute to my guy, We the People. Appreciate you tapping in, brother. Salute. So let me go ahead and go into the next poll here. And I'm going to ask you guys this. Okay. This is going to be a good one. And again, I appreciate everybody tapping with me on this Monday night. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button for sure. Hit those thumbs, help me support the show, help to keep the lights on. That stuff matters, guys, for sure. I'm gonna put this guy up here. I'm not gonna put the other guy. All right. Here we go. Next one up. Okay. I messed up on the wording. I'm trying to do this fast, but you guys get the gist of it. I meant to ask, who would you like the Raiders to draft at quarterback? Doesn't matter. In general, who would you guys like the Raiders to draft at quarterback? Cast your vote now. Let me know. Any round. Doesn't matter. Rounds don't matter. Who do you guys want? Just throwing through. So I definitely want to hear your opinion. So this is just a personal preference. I want to get everybody's beat on this, on who they want as the Raiders' future quarterback for sure. Let's see here. Leo, we here arguing with people and shit. I love you, brother. Oh man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. All right. Can I get some sleep, raising? Come on, Robert. You always coming on, man. Putting some comments on. Come on, dog. Yeah, you can't be negative, my guy. You gotta be positive. But we trying to do big things, bro. And I know your heart's there. Come on, man. Be positive, brother. We trying to figure this shit out. We're gonna send our. We didn't come up with the solution. We're sending the fucking Spy Tech and Carol, and they're gonna get this shit figured out, brother. Like they're gonna pick up our phone calls and shit. They don't give two shits what we think. But it's fun for us, man. That's all that matters, man. I'd love to hear everybody's opinion on this because this is relevant, man. I mean, we do have a voice at the end of the day because they do listen at them. So if everybody talks, they do listen and shit. We've already made certain things happen, and it hasn't worked out too great, but we made some moves and shit. So for sure. Armando says Cam Ward for mine. If you can't get him, then someone else. Yeah, man. I mean, that's what I say. If this whole thing, hold on, wait. I wanted to use this. There's this rumor.
Love rumors. Facts can be so misleading. Were rumors true or false are often revealing.
If this rumor is true and Spytek had a dinner with the tennis GM at the combine, then and if they're trying to negotiate, figure out something for the number one pick, Cam's gonna be the guy, man. I'm telling you. So I know Leo doesn't want to hear it, but it makes sense, bro. Because why are we gonna trade up for number one for Shador, bro? It don't make sense. He's probably gonna land to us at 6. I don't see Cleveland going out and getting a quarterback not that high up. I still think they're going to try to replace Myles Garrett because they're going to eventually try to get him shop. They're trying to shop him and whatnot. Or even if they're saying they're not going to do it, they're going to take some calls, bro. That's a matter of fact. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't see Shador going in the top 3. So I don't know. Grace says I voted for Cam as well. All right, there you go. So far, 7 votes casted so far. Cam Ward leads with 57%. Jackson Dart 29%. Wow, I'm surprised about that. And then Shador at 14. Kyle McCord get no love, bro. No love, 0%. Nobody wants Kyle McCord. But Kyle McCord had a pretty decent combine. Way fucking better than Will Howard. That's why I didn't even put Will Howard's name on there because Will Howard doesn't deserve to be on there right now. He didn't have a good combine. Fuck that. So, Leo said the last time they listened to us, our coach won this. Exactly, bro. But we think that should happen. That's what I'm saying. They can hear us. If we all talk and we all say the same shit, they will listen to us. But yeah, they shouldn't listen to us. And so I think everybody comes in an agreement about something. I think then we can put it out there, bro. But we're so split on a lot of things that I don't know. It's just funny, man. Let's see. That's because okay. Let's see. Jackson Dart all the way. All right, there you go, man. There you go. 25. Though you were part of the 25%, brother, for sure. I'm not gonna start the EOC trick. That's a trigger word, bro. I'm gonna have to that. I don't know. I don't think I'm really gonna talk about too much about EOC because man, people be getting riled up about that shit, bro. You guys know my take on it. I don't think ASC's a guy. You know, he doesn't really fit in this system. No matter if you have Chip Kelly in there, no matter if you give this dude all the protection in the world, it's just he can't run. His decision making sometimes is questionable, and so the rollout has improved, but not by all that much. It just somebody always has a ceiling, and I think I think we all know AOC ceiling, and we have to wait a long time for it to develop into being the type of dude that can get us into the playoffs and get us past the first round. Because if not, we're just gonna see the same shit that happened to Justin Herbert. It's just what it boils down to. So if you guys don't want to see that, then AOC is not the guy. It's just how it goes, man. You know, he can win games, not a lot of games, but he can win some games. But you're getting into that Derek Carr type of range, which is just mediocre. And yeah, I love Derek Carr. You know, not to shit on the dude, but he went to New Orleans. He went to my girls' team over here, and I had to watch some of those games, and I saw what he can do because I watched those games on purpose too because I wanted to see what the fuck he can do. And to my expectation, he did what he did, which is not win, not produce anything out in New Orleans. That's just the real. And even the New Orleans fans, the Saints fans want him out of New Orleans. Why? It's mediocrity. That's it. Robert says tomorrow we'll find out how the tag. Do you know? Yeah, I think the franchise tag expires either tomorrow or Wednesday, one of those days. But I don't see us franchising tagging anybody. The only one that I can realistically say that you can potentially do it on is Coons. But I don't even think you can. I don't think you can even. I don't think you should even use it on Coons because I think you can get Coons for much cheaper than $20 million. Because that's literally what's going to cost us to franchise tag Malcolm Coons. I don't think he's worth that. I think he's worth farther down the ladder, in between the $10 and $15 million mark, with only what 8 games to really show what he can do. Not 20 million. No. They like him though. I guess that Pete Carroll likes him, but as much I hope to think that as much as he likes him, he doesn't overpay for him. If he really decides to keep him, I don't know. Greg says franchise tag Spillane. You don't need to franchise tag Spillane. You can get Spillane on a team friendly deal, bro, for sure. You don't have to pay him 20 because I think it's about 25 million dollars to franchise tag these guys. It's not peanuts, bro. That's a year, 1 year, and you only do it for 1 year. So you can get Spillane on a much cheaper contract than $20 million. Let me go ahead and pull him up over here. His linebacker. Oh my God, Robert Spillane. All right, market value. Market value for him is about 10.5 mil. You could pay him 15. You give him $5 million bump. That's a pretty good bump. You can even do 8 if you wanted to. That's still under 20. You don't have to franchise tag him. The franchise tag is only utilized really when the two parties can't really come up with a number that satisfies both. So at that point, they'll just franchise tag you. You know, then there's only one you can use, so you got to use it on the right guy. And if you use it on Spillane, which is you could, but you wouldn't want to because his salary is not even nearly at $20 million or 22. You know, to pull something like that off. So, yeah, for him, I'm going to franchise tag him. That's for sure. But he's going to be brought back. I wholeheartedly feel that way that he's going to come back. Chase Young's going to be another guy that comes back, and obviously Morig. I hope that deal comes through. We need to go ahead and re-sign that dude. Morig is going to be definitely the guy on the list as well. We need to go ahead and bring that guy back. His stock is, I think, is projected pretty high too. As well. Let's see, Trayvon Mooring market value. I think he's still on the rookie deal. I mean, I'm on the wrong spot. Let me get back to Sport Track, but I think for him, I've heard anywhere from like about same thing, about 15 to about 20 for him. Let's see, more. Here it is. Market value. He's about 15. See, about 15 and a half. So same thing. You could potentially use it on him because he falls into that range. So I did a show a few weeks ago, if you guys don't remember, where we talked about franchise tag being one of those subjects, and it's Malcolm Kuntz or this guy because they fall into that range. I still feel you can get him. You can get these guys on the team friendly deal. You can get them under the franchise tag amount, because for one, they have Patrick Graham back. They have Robbie Leonard back. They're gonna have a lot of the guys most likely returning. Not all of them, because we know that Nate Hop is not coming back. A couple other guys are not going to come back defensively as well, but the core is still going to be there, and that matters. That makes a lot of sense. So you're going to be able to go ahead and get these guys on a team friendly deal. So we're talking about anywhere from maybe 18, 20 million per year, and you're still making out. You're still making out at the end of the day, still under the franchise tag, and we're talking about years. We're talking about 20 for 3 type of deal where they're getting paid $20 million per year for 3 years, a 3-year contract or anything down the line, and that makes more sense paying $22 million for a 1-year contract. You just use these franchise tags as bridges to really get an actual solid contract put together for these guys. So, yeah. Robert Davis says, "Are you guys getting Rodgers? Don't know. I don't really want him. He's already on the decline. 41 years old. Wasn't really able to do much in New York. He had weapons. Lazard, Adams. Even though Adams came a little bit late, he didn't come that late. They didn't do much. 5-12 record. Not his stats. Yeah, he stat wise, this guy did the thing. But what is good? What good is? And this is another thing too. Sometimes the stats are getting put out there, like for example, for an AOC. But what does that also translate into wins? To wins, and that also needs to translate to. If you look at Rodgers' offense, if you look at the points from their losses, they're under 20 points, just like us. So it's not, you're not really improving. You're not upgrading from EOC, because that's really what you want to do, right? You want to go ahead and upgrade from EOC. You're not wanting to keep. You're not trying to get another guy for that's the same thing, and having to pay extra money for that. It don't make sense. So not really a guy I'm really interested in. Robertson won a 10-game lose streak. What players would you want back? So defensively, Chason, Morig, Kuntz, I can take or leave him, but Spillane, talked about Spillane for sure. We got Paul Mal back. That's already set in stone. He's good to go. Nate Hobbs is gonna most likely part ways. Sucks, but like Leo says, we can't keep these guys on a Raider scholarship anymore, and I think that's a that was definitely one of the guys on those type of scholarships. So, I think we can go ahead and upgrade from that position. DJ Reed being on free agency market, that's somebody that we could definitely go ahead and pursue in free agency to fill in that corner position. Or it could be an actual upgrade from Hobbs, right? Offensively, there's really, there's really nobody. There's really nobody that's on free agency that I really want to go ahead and keep. I think Abdullah's going to be the only one that's going to be returning. Madison's going to be gone. And this is what they're saying, that Abdullah's going to be back. I know we need a veteran running back. He is on the cheaper side. Not my first choice, but if you do, that's cool. Again, that's because there's continuity there, and that's the only reason why I'm saying maybe okay to that. But really, defense is the tail of the tape. Where there's certain guys that we definitely need to go ahead and keep. I'm probably missing out a couple names. I think Muguay, I think, is one of them. He's the linebacker. I'm probably butchering his name. I'm sorry. But yeah, there's certain restricted free agents that are going to go. Now, the other person, White Snowden, Azamir Snowden. I don't know if we keep him or not. I normally you don't keep a guy, especially when he had an issue like that. They go ahead and part ways. It'll be interesting to see if Pete wants to go ahead and give him a second shot. I don't know. That'll be interesting though. DJ Turner, he's gone. Obviously Ritter's gone. They're not going to go ahead and renew their contracts. That's already been said. So those guys are out. So we'll see who else they want to go ahead and keep as well. Greg franchise tag Max. Just kidding. Yeah, man. I don't franchise tag that dude, but yeah, restructure him for sure, man. Luis, appreciate you tapping in, brother. What free agents they sign tells us what position they will draft. Interesting. Yep, exactly. So, um, quarterback is the only one that, honestly, even if they get a guy like Darnold, doesn't mean necessarily they won't go after Shador. They've said it before. They are not afraid to go ahead and get guys, even if they have guys already there. They don't care. They're just going to go ahead and stockpile guys and make them compete and see who's the better one. So, but to be realistic, that won't make a lot of sense to me. But stranger shit has happened. But they've openly said, hey, we have guys there, and if an opportunity comes up and a guy becomes available, we won't shy away from it. We won't leave that rock unturned. So yeah, interesting what happens there for sure. Again, I appreciate everybody tapping in with me on this Monday night. If you guys haven't done so already, or if you guys are new to the show, make sure you guys check in, hit that subscribe button, wipe them feet, hit those thumbs up, help me support the show, help me with the algorithm, help me spread the channel across the YouTube universe. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Make sure you guys turn on notifications as well. We are about to start free agency next week. I am probably going to be going on live at random times. So make sure, definitely got to turn on those notifications, because as news happens, I go on. That's kind of how it's going to kind of boil down to. Even if I'm at work, if I'm at home, because sometimes I work from home, I'll take a fucking break and I'll do a quick 15-minute live, and I'll tap in and we'll chop it up, and I'll break news to you guys as it happens. We'll dissect it, talk about it, all that good stuff, and more. So make sure you guys turn on notifications for sure. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Let's see. All right. And let me go to the poll. And again, I asked you guys earlier, who would you? And I know I fucked it up. Sorry, I missed that because I was trying to type it fast. Who would you guys like? Who would you like the Raiders to go ahead and draft at quarterback? Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Shador Sanders, or Common Core? 50% of you guys say Cam Ward. 29% Jackson Dart with 21% Shador Sanders. No love for Kyle McCord. 14 votes. Currently cast it in. If you haven't done so already, make sure you guys head over to that poll. Go ahead and click your quarterback. Cast your vote. Let your voice be heard. But so far, the consensus is that a lot of people want Cam Ward tonight. Cool. Let me ask you guys this: why do you guys want Cam Ward over Shador? Let me know your thoughts on the comment section, on the chat. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm very interested. Same thing, comments even after the show. Let me know what you guys think about why you want Cam over Shador. It's interesting to see why there is this gap, right? And it could be for a lot of things. The play is very similar, right? There's both good and bad for each quarterback. Played in different divisions. I think both had their challenges. The SEC is a little bit tougher division than the Big Ten or the Big 12. I'm sorry, they're in Big 12. So interesting to see what the difference in decision is for you guys on why you guys prefer Cam over Shador. I definitely want to go ahead and know that. But let me see what else. There's a couple other things I want to go ahead and chat with you guys about. The other thing too, I've said this before. So, do we stack up the draft with defensive players like linebackers, quarterback, edge? So, we talked a little bit about corners, linebackers, Carlson Swishinger, Odalejo. There were some of the standouts out in the combine this weekend, over the last few days. Demetrius Knight was another one that kind of stood out from South Carolina. Jihad Campbell, obviously, dude had a great fucking combine. I would love to go ahead and pick this guy up. I think he's going to still project to go around the second, maybe late first. Would be there. So definitely a name to go ahead and look out for. Jihad Campbell, for sure. Let me go into some defensive. Brett Carter was another one from Clemson. He had a really good combine as well. Chris Paul, Stutzman. The linebacker class is pretty good. D tackle, Graham did his thing for sure. Alfred Collins was another one. Let's see. I think Cam Jackson had a pretty good one as well from Florida. Walter Nolan from Mississippi, he had a pretty good combine too. He's ranked pretty high as well. So, definitely a name that we definitely have to go ahead and look out for as well. But yeah, Alfred Collins is a guy that definitely kind of stood out as well. So, definitely there's opportunity there at the D tackle, both early and in the later rounds. Offensive line. Now, I didn't get to see the final day of the combine. I saw a little bit. I saw like the tail end of it. Will Campbell definitely up there. Donovan Jackson, Truss, Xavier Truss is a name that we have to look out for. Wyatt Millam is his name, from West Virginia. Jeff, if you're still on, throw some names out there because he was really doing that show on Sunday. So he would know better than me. Plus, he's an ex-lineman, so he has an eye of what to look for, and this is really where Jeff becomes valuable. On his really insights. On the other Shador shit, nah, not really, but just kidding, bro. But he has a really keen eye for alignment. Zabel, obviously being a top guy, he's the tackle out of North Dakota State. Tate Ratledge, another guy too. So there is potential guys that we can go ahead and pick up. Obviously, we need to go ahead and address that O line, and that's one of the things that was indicated indicated by Pete Carroll that they're going to go ahead and really protect the quarterback. That is an initiative, and I'm glad they are doing it. So that means we are definitely going to get a guy in the draft. We just don't know at what round are they going to go ahead and get their lineman at. It could be multiple rounds. It could be early third round, fourth round. They can wait until the latter half of the sixth round to go ahead and potentially pick that up as well. So it'll be interesting to see where these guys go ahead and kind of grab the guys at. But Zabel, I think when I've done the mocks and done the mocks also with like Jeff and them. Usually this guy gets picked up either in the late first or somewhere in the second. So it'll be interesting to go ahead and kind of see where this guy gets picked up. But yeah, there is some names that definitely gotta go ahead and look out for. Let's see, Armand Membu from Missouri. Looks like he had a pretty good combine. But these guys are pretty fast too. These guys ran 40 this guy ran a 40 at 4.9. That's pretty quick, bro. So I mean, I'm not mad at that. Kevin Banks Jr. He's out of Texas. He's like the second. He had second highest score on the combine for the lineman. Just a little bit lower on the slower side. Just ran the 40 over 5.1. So, but he scored high on other things. So, and then you have Will Campbell still projected to be up in that top 10 of this draft. So interesting to see. But yeah, we have some options there. We definitely need some linemen for this year coming up. I mean, we lucked out with JPJ and DJ Glaze. So but we need to go ahead and add to that. And then mind you, the Chiefs they franchise tag Smith, their guard. So he's going to be sticking around with them for another year. He's not going anywhere. I know we're kind of on that. Let's see what happens with Smith, but that's no longer a viable option. So, and really, this free agency is not really that deep. You got a couple guys like Cam Robinson, Zach Martin that are out on free agency. Kappa was another one that was announced earlier. I don't even know if this guy would be even an option. I haven't heard really good things about him, so I'm a little bit trepidatious on whether or not we even decide to even pursue a guy like him, like Alex Kappa from Cincinnati. So as far as the class, as free agency class, it's still another shallow. The thing is, because these guys, if you're pretty good or you're halfway decent, right? These guys will go ahead and keep you on, and these guys don't really like to go out to other teams because they already make that continuity with the rest of the line, and they work as a unit. So um, you don't see really too much of lineman free agents out there, like where it's like high quality upper echelon type. That's why Casey was quick onto franchise tag Smith before he really hit that market on the 12. So, but yeah, I mean, I think for the key for the lineman situation is going to come out of that draft, and there's good options. So, um, expect to see some things kind of come into fruition for that. Let me see. Luis says, what free agents they sent? Okay. Greg says, Cam Ward carries the least drama and reminds me of Lamar Jackson in size and play style. If Raiders can have a Derrick Henry type running like a Morgan Hampton or Caleb Johnson, it could be a solid pickup. Yeah, man. Now I don't know if they're gonna be able to go ahead and pick up Hampton, because same thing. Either he's projected to go out late first or early second before we even get up there to pick him. Caleb Johnson is going to be more of that option where um, he's going to be making the most sense, right? Um, so or Judkins. Judkins is another option. He's a stud too. So let's say you get Cam and you pair him up with the Judkins. That'll be pretty solid, bro. That might do some damage. That might be some shit right there for sure. 100%. Salute to my guy Mosa Raider. Appreciate you tapping in, brother. It's been on the Melrose routine for a while now, and now look, he's been linked to the Raiders. Highest thing in the class, hands down. I don't know, man. That combine, bro. I wasn't really too impressed, bro. Guy throws hard, but he just it's I could see the control factor not being there, like that being an issue. Like when he was throwing these guys, he's pushing them out of bounds. And there were some overthrows from him. So I don't know, man. I'm just not set on him. They're curious about him, doesn't necessarily mean that they want to go ahead and pursue them. They're just curious about Jalen Merrill. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I feel like if they go out and get a guy or let's say they get Fields, but on a long contract, which is like a 3-year deal, and that's maybe where a situation where Merrill can come in and sit behind Fields and be able to learn and develop from Chip Kelly and Justin Fields, right? To really learn more, well, maybe more Chip Kelly, because I know Justin Fields doesn't have the best accuracy, but still far better than a lot of the free agents out there. But learning really how to control that ball, either to ease up off of it or knowing when to go ahead and really put that zip like he does on it, which is necessary at times, but not all the time. It's just like go, go, go. So that's the thing with him. But yeah, I think he runs more of a Lamar type guy, but um, just he just can't throw. He just can't throw as good. So for sure, I should have put him up on this thing. I don't know why I didn't. He just slipped my mind. That's the thing, because he just wasn't on my radar. So my bad, bro. Um, he should have been up there because the Raiders are considering him, and I think he probably would have gotten some votes. But currently, I did ask you guys, who would you like the Raiders to go ahead and draft at quarterback? Again, still Cam Ward, still the heavy favorite, 47%. Jackson Dart 29. Shador getting some seating at 24. Still no love for Common Cord. Ain't gonna be no more love for that dude. So yeah. It's all good. But 17 votes currently casted in. Make sure you guys go ahead and head on over and cast your vote. I'm gonna go ahead and close that out in a few minutes because we're gonna go ahead and close out the show in a little while. We're getting up to that tomorrow hour, depending where you're at. In Mountain Time, if you're on the West, you still got an hour to go. If you're in the East, you're well into fucking 2 a.m. and shit. But salute to everybody tapping in wherever you're at, whether you're in the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, wherever you are. Raider Nation representing all day, every day, 24/7, baby. That's how we do it. Appreciate everybody tapping in for sure. My guy, we the people. You can tell Jackson Dart really feels comfortable with the ball. He does, man. He really showcased himself in the combine. Fucking outshined almost everybody, bro. Dylan Gabriel, bro. Dylan Gabriel. I expected more of that dude. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the jitters or whatever. Just sailing balls going everywhere. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that dude. Um, Definitely was not in rhythm, was not comfortable. I think he just got too into his mind once he started missing a few throws, and just kind of how it went after that, and he just really couldn't recover. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a pro day. He's gonna go out to private workouts and stuff like that. So maybe he'll look better then. But if that's the case, if he got into his head, that might be also an issue that you look at because you can't have that in the NFL. It's super detrimental. We saw that with fucking Gardner Minshew. This kid would go sit down, would head down, look like a fucking sad puppy lost. That cost us games, man. We lost like Robert Davila said, we lost 10 games in a row for sure, man. Partly because of Minshew. I say more than half of it was a Minshew. And if you have your mind out of it and all this, that's what happens. You start losing, you start making mistakes, you can't recover. You can't recover. It's a thing, man. It happened to me one time too. It's just like I just needed to get out of my own brain, and just kind of just let the game come to you. You know, it's just how it goes sometimes. But yeah, let's see. We'll probably start wrapping it up in just a bit. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys go ahead and put it on the chat. I asked you guys earlier, what do you guys think? What separates between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart now because he's the third guy. He's definitely QB3. I think he solidified that part. What differentiates you guys? What's making you come to that decision? I would love to go ahead and hear your opinion about those three guys, or basically the guy you chose for. Why did you choose him? You know, so this is. I want to go ahead and get a grasp on everybody's take on it. And I feel it's very curious to know. Wow, I'd love to hear the opinions for sure. Let's see. But yeah, DK Metcalf. I feel that's something that my push bar after we figure out this quarterback situation probably will be in the next. Could be in the next few weeks. Could be in the next month or two. We'll see. I feel like that DK situation it's just a scenario that you probably can sit on for a while and then see what happens, right? Heard the same thing with Geno Smith, but I don't know. With Geno, I think he stays in Seattle. They're pretty bent on keeping him there. So I don't know if if there's a potential trade for him as well. But yeah. But I think we covered a lot of things tonight. And that's what I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about to look at the next targets because literally we're on to free agency. Oh, one last thing, and we haven't mentioned now. Let me go ahead and put this out there. But if you guys don't know, Michael Mayer is potentially on the trade block. That is currently the word on the street. I know Leo probably left already, but I know he was talking about it earlier on his show. That's currently the word on the street that the Raiders are trying to shop Michael Mayer. I don't know whether it's some type of package deal, maybe with Samir. Or don't be surprised. That would actually be a thing where I'm not mad at that. If you just trade Michael Mayer alone, he's probably worth 5th, 6th round pick. You know, with Brock now here and the year that he just came off from, it, you know, I don't really see Michael Mayer being a tight end number one, or one B. Um, that's not really the type of guy he is, right? He's more of your traditional tight end. He definitely guy is talented, can catch and all that, block, do all that for you. But Brock Bowers is just on a different level. So this might not be the system for him with this new regime with Chip Kelly. They might not want to deploy a two tight end set, and that might be a lot what this is potentially coming from. Not only that, you had Michael Mayer with his off the field issues, right? That's a concern. Um, especially if you're trying to put this offense together where you're really counting on that other weapon, which is Michael Mayer, to be available. If not, you're having to run, which we just did, with a 10 and 3, and it doesn't get executed the same way you want it to, right? Because you don't have Michael Mayer there. So they might just be like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna go ahead and cut our losses, and we're gonna shop this guy around. Maybe we can get another fifth if we package together with certain guys. Maybe they can package it with Minshew, and we can potentially get a fourth round pick from it. And that could definitely be the case. And like I said, meat and potatoes of this draft is between rounds 2 and 5. So if we're able to go ahead and draft pick anywhere in between that, that's gonna go a long way, because we can get more guys that way. We can use that draft pick to trade up or trade back or whatever, right? It can be used in different ways. So, but that is currently out there. Michael Mayer is on the trade block. We'll see what happens with that. I haven't heard anything new, but Mike, for sure, as of right now, Michael Mayer is on the trade block, and I'm looking at see if I find any news on that. I haven't. There's not really anything there that I could see. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Michael Mayer, but he's on the trade block. So, yeah. But let's see here. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So the poll is increasing for Jackson Dart. He's at 32%. Cam Moore's at 42. Shadeur's at 26. Um, so interesting to see how this poll ends, and I'm gonna go ahead and end it in literally just a few minutes, um, as well. But yeah, throw out some new names for you guys to go ahead and kind of look into. That uh, Ayo Manor from Stafford is a definitely got to go ahead and look at for sure. Jaden Higgins from Iowa, I think it's Iowa State, is the other guy as well. So um, I think we can go ahead and pick up some guys from free agency on the wide receiver position. Like I said, I've said it for a little while now. Like Matt Collins, I'd love to go ahead and bring back Matt Collins to Vegas and have him come back and work with us again. I like what he was able to produce when he was here. Like what he did with Buffalo. Had a pretty solid year over there, and he's consistent. He's dependable. He's definitely he's a lunch bell guy. He's a lunch bell guy. So he'll consistently bring you production. And he's on the cheaper side. Let me look at his market value for him. He's at 2.5 mil. You're not breaking the bank for this guy. So a guy you can definitely go ahead and pursue as well. Um, so also on the free agency block as well, Chris Godwin. That's a guy you can, also go ahead and pursue. Slayton is on there. Let's see. I think Cooper Kupp is going to be on there pretty soon. I know he had that injury, but that's another option. You could potentially bring in as well. DeAndre Hopkins is there. So you got a few guys in free agency, and then you can go ahead and draft the guy as well, or you can go ahead and just drop the guy out along. It's literally you can do so many things in this wide receiver position. So for sure. Oh, bro, I thought you left my guy. Shit, I didn't know you that. I was just talking about your boy Michael Mayer, dog. I was talking about your boy that he's on the trading block potentially. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I really look for Lewis Bags after the story. Oh man. Let's see. What's Renfro and Waller up to, bro? Hey, I think Waller wants to come back from out of retirement, dog. But I don't know if we pursue that dude anymore. If I can get injured coming into the building, back then it would be a solid pickup. I'm back in the queue waiting for a ride. Okay, waiting on a ride. All right, for sure, bro. For sure. Yeah, I was just talking about Michael Mayer, because it's out. He is on. He's potentially being shopped or something like that. So, like I said it earlier on the show, bro. I think we get a fifth for him if they really want to go ahead and trade him out, and it could be for various reasons why they want to even do that. Um, it could just be like he just doesn't fit in the system, man. I mean, I don't know. It just it could be he just doesn't fit in the system. His off the field issues might be a thing also too, where they're just like, I don't know. Um, because they might not Chip Kelly might not want to run a 2-10 set. I don't know. I know you're biased because that's your boy, but I'm just saying that I'm just spitballing here potential educated guesses on why even that shit's out there. You know what I mean? But Leo says don't trade them just to trade them. Got to be good, but yeah, but you know how the market value for these players are right now. It's not the best, right? So that's what I'm saying. I think you get a fifth for him if you package him up with, let's say, Zamir and like Minshew. You may be able to go ahead and get a fourth. I don't think you get a third, but maybe a fourth, a high fourth, and depends to who, you know. So I don't know, man. It's just I don't think they're gonna want to run 2-10 and set. That's literally what I feel. And your boy was saying it earlier. So I think that makes sense to me because I was like, wait, maybe he's right. Maybe they don't want to run that 2-10 anymore. Especially if Michael is not dependable or he's gonna be out, like he's gonna have another thing where he's not gonna be available until the fourth game or some shit like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. So interesting to see what happens there. And if they do, like you said, yes, I think it's gonna be good, but don't raise your expectations too much, dog. Because I feel like you're gonna get disappointed, man. For real. I think you're gonna be like, we should get a fucking second or third pro. I'm thinking they're gonna give you that. But we'll see what happens, man. For sure. All right. All right. So, uh, uh, let's see. All right. So again, ask you guys, who would you like the Raiders to drop that quarterback? Now the votes have gotten a little bit more lined up here. It's 40% Cam Ward, 30% Shador, and Jackson Dart. Still no love from Kyle McCourty. In game, no love. 20 votes casted in. But Jackson Dart neck to neck. I don't know. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead and cast your vote. Let your voices be heard. Hey, Dakota. Cool, man. You're a Steelers fan. All good, bro. I got some family who are Steelers fans, but it's not the Steelers nation, my guy. There's only one nation, and it's us, bro. Don't take it, bro. Don't try to take it and say that it's a Steelers nation. It ain't, bro. Call yourself whatever you want. Steeler County, Steeler Island, Steeler Mill, whatever, bro. Steeler Town. Hey, actually, that sounds pretty good, bro. There you go. I got it for you guys. Steeler Town, bro. Use that. Use that. But only one nation, my guy. Only one nation. But that's cool. That's cool. That's right. Oh man. Well, see if you guys keep Russell Wilson, bro, because I think most the consensus is for us, the real nation, is that we don't want Russell. But I don't know, man. Forget your nation too, bro. You don't even have a nation, bro. You have to steal other people's nations, bro. It's all good, man. It's all good. But let's see. What else? Okay. I think said okay. So again, I don't think AFC starts this season. Um, depending who we get on free agency, which is not going to be most likely. I don't think it's going to be Russell Wilson. It's probably going to be Justin Fields. Makes the most sense. Um, salute my guy Arnie. Appreciate your brother. I'm about to sign off in a little bit, but um, let's see. Louis says I want them to build that 2002 offensive line that team made the Super Bowl. We got 3 Super Bowl rings each time we had a Pro Bowl offensive line with the running game. Yeah, bro. Uh, we want the skill factor, not the personnel, because man, fuck, that Super Bowl, one of the guys literally got lost in TJ, bro, and we didn't see that dude till a week later, man, and he thought we won it already. I don't know what the fuck happened there. So I think these guys now are a little bit more level headed. So, but no, I hear what you're saying for sure. Having a really good offensive line, I think we just a few more guys away from having that. Running game definitely has to be addressed. I think we can definitely get if not 1, 2 running backs in this draft. The class is deep enough. Again, meat and potatoes, rounds 2 and 5. That's where you can go ahead and pick up running back. You don't have to go ahead and double dip. I know mocks I've double dipped in the second or third, or like one after another. It's just having that Jenkins and Henderson there duo is just hard to like pass it up. But realistically, they probably won't do that. They'll probably pick up somebody in the third or second, probably third, and then pick up another guy in the 5th round. That'd probably be the more smart, logical play for that. So, but yeah, establishing a run game and building up an offensive line is going to be definitely a key thing here. Let's see. Why haven't we signed more of our own free agents before the free agency period starts? I think that's still being negotiated. You still have 10 more days, bro. I wouldn't panic. It doesn't really say much. You're probably going to start seeing things trickle in maybe later this week. So don't be surprised. But it's going to happen. So, but the key names, you just want to focus on the key names, bro. Obviously, Spillane, Morrig, Chase on, and maybe Coons, right? So figure out that Coons part is going to be the thing that we want to kind of figure out, right? So that might come. That might come for sure. Leave him alone, bro. That was so challenge. Well, bro, no, like, who the fuck does that, bro? They're like, oh, we're gonna go to TJ. We'll be right back, bro. We're gonna go to TJ. We'll be right back. You go to TJ. I'll see you next week, dog. That's what happened. It remind me. Sure, sir. Was told about C when he was in. Oh shit. Okay. See, I see us signing Cal Trask to compete against Dart and AOC 12. Who starts? I don't know if we get Cal Trask, bro. Yeah. If we start AOC, we in trouble. Yikes. Yeah, bro. I know. See, I'm using the trigger word, bro. But I don't see it happening, bro. He's gonna be there because he's on the rookie deal. I don't see them moving on. I mean, shit. I'm surprised if they fucking trade him away. But I don't even think that happens. But I think he's gonna be there as a backup. That's how I see him fit this year. Honestly, until his rookie deals come back, he's good enough to be that backup. I don't see him being anything more than that. Right? Everything that everyone talks about. Everyone. I mean, everyone. Is that Raiders are looking for a quarterback. Why? Why? Because AOC is not the guy. You know, that's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. But all right, let's kind of get into the final thoughts part of this. Final thoughts. And Arnie brought up a great point. Why aren't we seeing guys being signed for free agency right before the thing starts, right? I think that's still being negotiated. Remember, Spytek and Carroll were just at the combine. That's where their sole focus was. And I'm pretty sure they were already having those conversations with certain guys, but things weren't really finalized yet until they got back from Indianapolis, right? So they're back now. They're probably going to start going ahead and wrapping those things up um, pretty quickly for the guys that they really want to go ahead and keep before they hit into free agency. So um, don't be surprised. Maybe expecting a couple guys being talked about or a couple of things flashing again if it does going on live. Are my guys over here available? My guy Leo, maybe we do it together or with Jeff or anybody. So make sure you guys turn on notifications for sure. Quarterback. Um, I think if once free agency hits, that's really when we'll find out what's really going to happen in this draft because it looks like they're going to be in tandem. One's going to be one for the other. But uh, that's my thoughts. Let me see. See, because we need a franchise quarterback. Sorry, I guess. Hang on one second. My son's crying. He's hungry. It's feeding time for him. We don't need to re-sign all of them, maybe 4 or 5, and that's it. Yeah, facts, bro. So that's what I said. Like Spillane, Morig, Chason, possibly Coons. There might be a guy that I'm missing here. Hobbs is most likely going to part ways with him, so he's probably not going to return back. Epps, I don't see him coming back, especially off that injury. We just saw him pull him out, so we kind of have our answer there at that part. So yeah, we'll see what happens with there. Luis says Pro Bowl offensive line. That's one we've had the most success in our history. Remember, we went 12-4, and in 2016 we went and signed Felicia Osmelli. That's why I want Micaiah Beckman. Yeah, bro. For sure. We had that offense back then, man. It was pretty good, man. 12-4. Yeah, bro. So it's gonna be addressed. Like I said, there was guys that had really good combines. There's names I threw out. Trust. Let me go back to my thing here to my combine. Trust Jonathan Jackson. Out of Ohio State. He's already familiar with Chip Kelly. But I think he probably goes late first, early second. Will Campbell, he's top 5. He's probably gonna go quickly, but there's other options as well. Josh Simmons, Bell, very physical guy. He had a really good combine. That's definitely a name that you got to go ahead and look out for. He'll probably be there around second. I don't see him going. He'll be there in second, first. I don't think he'll be there third for sure. But then you have guys like Tate Ratledge, White, Milam from West Virginia. He had a pretty good combine as well. I remember that name that was said by Jeff. So there's guys that we can go ahead and pursue. There's options. So I think, and in free agency, there's not a lot of options. So I think the answer is going to lie in this draft. So look out for things being done in the draft online wise for sure. Let's see, Arnie says, what are your thoughts on drafting Nick Minari to IPM? We can't sign more, bro. We were just talking about that dude, bro. That dude's a fucking stud. He had a fucking amazing combine. Dude was like quick as shit. 6'3", 6'4", 225. Man, that would be a great pickup in South Carolina. His top rows, I think we were seeing him in the 4th, 5th rounds, maybe. I think between 4th and 6th. So for sure, now you count him between maybe I would say probably maybe third to fifth, or maybe third, or from the third to late fourth. You can put him there. But yeah, he'll be definitely a guy. All right. Yeah, bro. I'm about to sign up a bit. Yeah, I got to do daddy duties in a bit. All right. Arnie says, who in our roster doesn't fit our schemes to cut, either offense or defense? Like I said, the Michael Mayer trade might be because he doesn't fit into our scheme. AOC doesn't fit into our scheme, but they're gonna keep him on because he's cheap on the rookie deal. Um, they're already they're parting ways with Turner. They're most likely going to part ways with Hobbs, because we only get half a year production out of him, and he wants a lot. So I'm not surprised they're doing that. And the reason why I say they're going to part ways with Hobbs is because he unfollowed the Raiders. So usually when you do that, you're going to be like, Boosh. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, that might be the thing that happens. So to answer your question. Um, let's see. The QBs and running backs we have no for. I know, bro. So maybe we pack it. Hey, I mean, don't be surprised if maybe we fucking ship out Minshew, bro, with fucking your boy over there, and we actually get something out of it. And maybe we convince the next team to take out his salary or some shit like that. Fucking help us out with the cap, bro. Or even if we don't get that, I get something from Minshew, man. Shit, we deserve compensation for his performance. It was a god awful performance. So, all right, but I think that's it. Again, before I cut up. Um, again, I asked you guys, who would you like the Raiders to go ahead and draft their quarterback? 35% says Cam Ward. 35% say Cam Ward and Shador Sanders. 30% for Jackson Dart. So the tables have turned. It was decisive on Cam Ward, but now Shador has tied it up with Cam. I figured maybe as the night progressed, the Shador fans started coming in. Leo brought him in. That's probably what happened, bro, for sure. So appreciate everybody. Go ahead and vote. 23 votes casted in. Appreciate everybody's opinion. Appreciate everybody tapping in for that, for sure, 100%. My guy Luis says Jonah. I can't pronounce his name, bro. I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna fuck it up. And Jonah said, Jonah from Hawaii. He's a proper offensive lineman. I think I saw his name on the combine. And again, I caught the tail end of the last day, so I really didn't get to see all the guys, but that's how the last draw. That's literally what I got to see, and that's it. But I go off Jeff's opinion on that because he has the eye for that. I don't know a whole lot on lineman moves and shit like that, so he's the guy to go ahead and really pick his brain about that for sure. So there you go. Original winner was Sport for sure, bro. There you go. You got your winner, man. So, but they tied it. They tied it with Shador, man. So yeah, Jonah Dude was moving well out there. Okay, good, cool. Wow. Jonah weighs over 330. Wow, he's a big dude, bro. Let me see. Okay, here he is. Sava. Yeah. I see. I fucked it up already, bro. Let me see what he's from Arizona. He's 6'4", 324. That's what they have him billed at. This guy ran a fucking 40 under 5 seconds. So he ran the 44.9, just over 4.9. There you go. Okay, definitely got to go ahead and keep a lookout. He had a 29-inch vertical jump, 8 feet 10-inch broad jump. Did the 20-yard shuttle, 4.6. Yeah, there you go. Guy can move. Yeah, that tackle from Arizona is a beast. He's like this. Okay, there you go. So, like I said, guys, I think the answer for the offensive line is not going to be in free agency. It's going to be in the draft. So we might see linemen being picked up throughout. Probably could be anywhere from the 3rd to 6th round, right? Well, we got three 6th-round picks, right? So they're definitely going to use some of that to fill in. But expect that to come for sure. But yeah, he does move well for sure. All right, guys. Some particulars before I go ahead and sign off. If you guys haven't done so already, or if you guys are new to the show, make sure you guys check in, hit that subscribe button, click those thumbs, turn on your notifications. We're about to go into free agency. I'm gonna be going on live more often, so make sure you guys turn on notifications. I'm planning to go ahead and do a video sometime this week. Don't know what day. I'm trying to squeeze in, find some time, put in the content for that. So make sure you guys turn on notifications for that, or maybe I'll just go ahead and do a video and put it out there, and not do a live and just break the news and stuff like that. That could be an option. So make sure, very important, turn on notifications. Also, couple other things. Let me go back here. Oops, I better want to Mr. Club. Okay, there we go. All right. So, next show, the Raider Connection, every damn Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, with my guy, Cheeto Linus. Where are you, bro? There you go. This guy right here, my partner right here. LB Raider 10 and my guy Jeff, New England Raider Booster. Every damn Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, the Raider Connection. It's going down. Panel show. We have some guests sometimes as well, so make sure you guys tap in. You'll hear different sides of the spectrum, and sometimes we argue about it, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we agree, and sometimes we don't. But if you want to hear different takes on it, for sure, tap in. You'll get a lot of different opinions on several issues. So, really, really good show. So make sure you guys tap into that. And then, of course, the premiere, the flagship show, Good Morning Raiders, going down every damn Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. That is a guest show. I have a big guest coming up this Saturday. And also some changing news. I'm gonna just tell you guys that, give you a little teaser. Some changing news. We're gonna have some good shit coming starting that episode and on. So make sure you guys tap into that. That is every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, East Coast people. I know it's not the morning, but it's close. The closest I can get. I need to get some beauty sleep, bro. Good Morning Raiders guest show. Make sure you guys tap into that for sure. And then, as always, I'm with you guys every damn Monday, 9 p.m. Pacific, right after Cheeto's show, Raiders Unfiltered. Bring it to you raw, rough, and uncensored, blunt to you guys every damn Monday night for sure. So make sure you guys tap into all those shows, turn on your notifications. And again, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead and tap into my socials, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and also X. And I actually am pretty active on X. So make sure you guys tap in JRaider_505. That's JRaider_505. Make sure you guys give me a follow on Instagram. And then also, too, because I'm about to get monetized pretty soon. So sometimes I can't. I'm not going to be posting as much stuff as far as my little fun reels that I do on the channel. I got to kind of watch what I post on there. So there's certain things I could post on here and there's certain things I can't. So, but I could post them up on other platforms like X and TikTok. They're kind of free for alls. Instagram is cool, but sometimes they frown on certain things. So, but make sure you guys tap in on all social for sure, 100%. But again, I appreciate everybody tapping in with me on this Monday night. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the show. Yep, for sure. Grace says he wants an early round offensive tackle. Yep. We'll see what happens, bro. We'll see what happens. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me. Signing off. Till next time, always remember, just Raiders, baby. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.